What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Elijah. Welcome back to Featuring Elijah, the channel where I pretend to be good at making music and you love what people watch. Today, we're doing a mixing tutorial, mixing and EQing, all that good stuff. Someone was asking, I've been getting comments about it a lot. People ask to see the process of mixing, EQing stuff, how do I get my mixes clear, things like that. And the answer is very simple. It's very simple. I mix loudness. That's pretty much it. 90% of pretty much anything I do when it comes to mixing is just mixing how loud everything really is, which I don't think is that difficult. So I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. All right, so this is a beat I made a couple of days ago. I don't remember what the video was, I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna go over it and everything I did and how you see the knobs are turned down and things are turned up and this one's above the default. We're gonna go over why that is. So I'm gonna unmute just all of the sounds that I used. All right.
Can you just shut the hell up?
Alright, so what I want you to pay attention to when you're mixing your beats, you're looking at the mixer track, and this is for, I guess, any DAW. I don't know what it looks like in other DAWs, but I'm sure there's loudness meters. So that's really what my main focus is when I'm mixing. I don't care about where the knob actually is. I just care, am I getting the sound to be at the volume that I want it to be at. So for this sound,
Can you just shut the hell up?
this one is so high because if it's at like the default regular volume with all the other sounds,
Can you just shut the hell up?
it's not as loud as I want it to. It's not as loud as I wanted it to be because I wanted this to be more the main sound, and also being above the drums, which we'll get to that. But anyways, yeah, even if I drag this down, trying to turn it down, and
Can you just shut the hell up?
there's just certain details in that you can't hear all the way, so I
Can you just shut the hell up?
have it a lot louder than these other sounds. And these sounds, this is a sound that's meant to be in the background, hence why it's lower. And you'll see in the meter itself, it's lower as well when it's hitting, and that's on purpose. That's what we wanted for this sound. Every single sound, every single beat will be its own case of how you mix and how you raise volume, lower volume. It depends on how loud do you want things. Do you want a sound to be prominent? Do you want it to be in the background? I wanted this sound to be there, but not being annoying, because it's this.
Can you just shut the hell up?
Bro,
Can
why is... that's a really high frequency noise, and I could have EQ'd the highs, tamed it and had it louder, but it didn't really matter to me because it's not super harsh, so I just turned it down. But you can see when it's playing next to all the other noises, these two melodies are above that and these two melodies are below that. These are melodies meant to just be in the background. Same thing, I wanted, oh sorry, I do remember. So when I made this beat, I remember I added these brass in, and I wanted it to be loud, yes, but I also wanted it to be beneath the two main melodies we also have, and these are EQ'd hella. So the low end is out of this brass. So let's see what it's like with it. And there's all that low end in there versus without. And low end is great, it is in standalone, but when you unmute all your drums in your 808 and you leave that low end in, that is where it can get ugly, because the low end from this brass is going to clash with the low end. I mean, it's 808, it's almost all low end, and you're not gonna have a pretty sound. So where is it? And this is with the low end, and so without this low end mixed out and the 808 playing, this is what it's like. 808 is like muffled. You can't really hear what it's supposed to be doing. So turn the EQ back on and then play it. You can feel a lot more of the 808's presence that way than having it unmixed and the low end still in there. So taking low end out is very great for your beats, and you should be doing it on almost all of your sounds. At least things you know that you add chords just has low end. Like there are sounds like lead sounds that you could, I'm sure, find that have low end in it, but it's a lead sound and you just EQ it out. EQing your reverb. Sometimes you have to EQ your reverb. If I want to put reverb on a clap, that's great, but it depends on how much reverb are you gonna put on it and what kind of like style of beat you're making. So I'm gonna put reverb just on this and just talk about it that way. So you just hear how loud and echoey that is, and you play with the other sounds. Like that's taking up a lot of room in the beat. So especially if you have 808s and loud basses and a lot of everything just playing at once, you really want to make sure that you're EQing a reverb and that you're using the right amount of reverb. So I use free reverb too every day, all day. I'm not really sure why I would get a different plugin, but when I do put reverb on drums, I always use the drum room. It's a lot tighter of a reverb. The decay is super low, and the dry is way up, and the wet is a lot lower. The size isn't that big. You really gotta know which reverbs to use and how to work the settings, because if you turn the decay up, that's what gives it that huge echoey sound. So you could literally just come up here and use the preset drum room if you're actually gonna put reverb on drums. Sometimes you have to EQ the reverb, and I'm gonna show you what I mean real quick. So see how every single frequency is getting hit. So if you do want to have a crazy reverb on a clap, you can use this one, the 40 hertz cut, or you could use any one of the 3-band ones. I'm just gonna use the 40 hertz cut just cause. But you want to take it and just slide that. It does have the reverb still, but it's not distracting. It's not nearly as distracting as it was before. And then as far as EQing goes, there's a couple more things you should know. Other than EQing out low end, you can also sometimes worry about high end, the mids, stuff like that. So I'm gonna use this as an example. This is like another example of a sound that had, this is a lead sound, but this had low end in it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's down here. Don't want it, can't have it. So what do? EQ it out. Now with this sound, if I felt as if either a frequency was too harsh, I could see where it is, and it's there, and I could take that down. But it's not that bad, so we can leave that. But if that was something I wanted to do, that could be easily done. You just saw me do it. Same thing with high end. If you thought maybe there was like too much hissing, take that out. Sometimes in lead sounds, there's a lot of hissing going on at the top end, so you can EQ that out. It's up to you how you want to go about doing that. But yeah, there's EQing lows, mids, and highs. Sometimes you gotta do one, sometimes you gotta do two. It doesn't matter. You just gotta know how to cater to every single track that you make. And also sound selection. Sound selection is another important part in having clean mixes and just overall well sounding tracks. Because a lot of times I feel like people will use sounds that are like just super abrasive, not very pleasing to the ear, and mixing that can be a lot harder if there's a lot of frequencies going on at one time in one sound. and that can make it a lot harder to mix something. It can make it harder for you to hear the other sounds that are in the beat. So sound selection is really important, using quality sounds, wherever you're getting your banks from, or your sounds, your one shots, whatever, they should be solid sounds, like things that people, really use. So sound selection is also important because that could force you to have to put more EQs and effects and this and that, and all you can see in every single one of these sounds. We got fruity reverb, fruity EQ, reverb, chorus, EQ, reverb, pancake, EQ, reverb, sketch cassette. Like, I keep it super simple on all of my sounds. I don't feel the need to put a lot of crazy effects on anything. Sometimes things being simple is a lot better, and I'm not buying all of those plugins. I'm not doing that. I'm not a rich man over here. So I personally feel that it's a lot better to get good with just what's already in FL Studio and what's just there, which you can just learn and apply it. I feel like if you really do make a beat every single day, or you try to, or you do something every single day, and you actually learn about what you're doing, you will get better. I promise. And there's a million tutorials out there that will tell you this matters, that matters, and I didn't even discuss my master tracks. Literally, you see there's a soft clipper on every one of my beats because I need that 808 to hit. I'm not gonna lie. Whether it makes it worse, the actual sound quality, or not, I'm pretty sure it does, in like the grand scheme of things. But once you mix and master, like, if you're gonna argue that the soft clipper is a bad thing and ruin sound quality and all that, that's okay. I think that if you also know how to mix, then you really won't have anything to worry about if you put a soft clipper on it. I think a lot of people need to realize that you just need to have an ear. Over time, you have to develop your ear and know when things need to be lower, when things need to be higher, knowing when something is out of place, because sometimes the sound can just cut through the mix really, really hard, and it could be in the final mix that you thought that was done, but then you listen to it either with a good pair of headphones or in the car, and it's super loud. And sometimes that's all it is, that a sound just needs to be lower and sit well with the other things in the mix. Some things can be higher than others and above other sounds, but there's some things that just need to sit in the mix. And as far as a fruity limiter, someone was asking me about that too. I don't use this thing. If you watch my channel, you listen to the beats at the end and stuff, and I mean, you've heard the mixes. I feel like they're pretty okay. I think my 808s can be too loud sometimes, like kind of takes away from the beat, so that's like something I know I can work on. But I don't touch this. I don't touch this other than for like sidechain, which I don't do, or if I was to be compressing something, which we're not compressing because I'm not like actually mixing this out to like send to somebody, and I'm not dealing with vocals. Compression is really mainly for vocals, and if like you have a beat and you're compressing it and like you're trying to really polish it up, that's really the only times you would need it. But I don't touch it either. I don't touch this thing. I don't touch it. And all people, I don't know what the meme is with sound guidizers. Well, actually, I kind of do, because like I think I used them back in like 2020. I was low key throwing sound guidizers on my beats, and it's like weird. Like I forgot what this even sounds like. Hold on. Yeah, it basically just took out like all of the frequencies from like my clap. So anything that I guess like hits hard, it takes care of. I have no idea, but I don't use it. Mixing is 90% loudness, 10% we'll say 80% loudness, 20% EQing, and taking out nasty frequencies. It's really not too difficult. You do not need to overcomplicate this. I promise you. I know a lot of tutorials can go like super duper in depth about like decibels and hertz and like all that, man, look, just make it sound good. Just do what sounds good. Just do what sounds good. I even kind of mix as I go. If you come up here, some sounds are already turned down by these knobs. I'll turn them down already, so I can already have it a little bit mixed, just so things aren't like blaring and jarring while I'm trying to make the beat. So I sometimes do that too. Velocity play. Where's this at? Velocity play. These velocities where select everything and hit all R. You can lower the velocity, make it higher. The sound will just be higher. Probably be more EQing that you'd have to do. But there's that as well. So yeah, a lot of this is just knowing how to level things out and knowing how loud you want something. Sometimes sounds, like I said earlier, like this sound is lower on purpose, mainly because it's something that could be annoying. It's high pitched and it's ringing a lot. So I wanted this to not get annoying and kind of just be something in the background. That's why that's also Pancake, which it has this panning from left to right. So I'm pretty sure Pancake is free. A lot of, and this is going to be another point, using panning effects. Actually very underrated. I do it on probably almost all my beats. I pan one sound. There's always one sound I use that can be panned and it can open up space. A lot of the things you want to pay attention to when you're mixing is making space, not only just for like the drums and like other melodies, the rapper as well, because if everything is just sitting in one space and nothing is like actually moving, then it can get distracting for both parties, the rapper and the producer. So yeah, I like to pan my sounds a lot, just have it moving, and so that it feels like the beat is moving. A lot of people also, you can use like stereo imagers to kind of see where frequencies are going and how like wide the beat like actually is. So there's a bunch of stuff that you can use to your advantage to help your mixes just sound more clear and better. Like I said, a lot of this is just leveling things out. Like I said, I'm gonna show you again. You can see all these sounds and how loud they actually are. And I'm looking up here. At the actual levels. I think that's it. That is the mixing tutorial. If you guys want me to like make a beat and then mix it, I can do that in another video. So you can like see me doing it. I think in the video I posted yesterday, I made that beat. I don't think I didn't edit it at all. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if y'all noticed that. I didn't edit it. Specifically because I want you guys to just see me do everything. Because like I said at the beginning of this, I do get comments asking for like a full process of like mixing arrangement. So I just let you guys see me do everything. But if you guys want me to specifically do one, making a beat and then like showing you guys mixing it, I can do that whenever tomorrow. You guys just let me know. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Remember, mixing 80% loudness, 20% EQing. Know what sounds need more attention. Know what frequencies need to be taken out of. Know how to tame a frequency. Don't get crazy with the sound goodizers and the fruity limiters. If you want to soft clip your beat, but please do not boost it too much so then we can't hear the rest of the drums. I bass boost my 808s and soft clip my beats, but before anything, I'm going to make sure that you hear everything else. You can't let it get distracting. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for 2,000 subscribers again. 3,000 on the way. Peace.